Wow. Who knew there were peaks higher than 73 views? It turns out I'm capable of making content that gets over 2,000 views. That's actually crazy. I think I've learned a lot from it too. And I hope I learned the right lessons. Only time will tell though. But we'll get more into that later. I want to keep these videos really short because they definitely get the least views and I don't want to spend too long on it. So let's get started with a short Game Awards recap. So Astrobot won Game of the Year. That means I've still got 100% accuracy, 2 for 2, Baldur's Gate 3 right into Astrobot, baby, let's go! Which means that I'm also probably going to end up making this a yearly series. We'll see if that accuracy stays. Here's to hoping that it will. But then we do have the other winners, which I got a fair amount guessed correctly on that too, not 100%. But if you want to check out, I'll link the video down in the description. But it is my reaction and the reaction of some of my friends and Cryptstars to the Game Awards. The audio is delayed because there were some technical difficulties that I couldn't fix during. So it is what it is, unfortunately, but it should be fine. I hope it's not going to be copyrighted. It probably is. Who am I kidding? But oh well. But I don't make any money off of it, so it really doesn't matter. Let's get into all the winners, actually. So, like I said, Astrobot won Game of the Year. It also won Best Game Direction. Best Narrative went to Metaphor ReFantazio. Best Art Direction also went to Metaphor ReFantazio. Best Score and Music went to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't know how I feel about that, just because I think the score is very similar to the original, so there wasn't much new music, but again, I didn't play the game, so maybe that's not the case. Best Audio Design went to Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Best Performance went to Melina Juergens. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, from the same game. Innovation in Accessibility went to Prince of Persia The Lost Crown. Games for Impact went to Neva. Best Ongoing Game went to Helldivers 2. Best Community Support went to Baldur's Gate 3. Best Independent Game and Best Indie Debut both went to Balatro, which also won Best Mobile Game. Best VR/AR Game went to Batman Arkham Shadow. Best Action Game went to Black Myth Wukong. Best Action Adventure Game went to Astrobot. Best RPG went to Metaphor ReFantazio. I'm really going to have to play that game on stream soon. Best Fighting Game went to Tekken 8. Best Family Game went to Astrobot. Best Sim/Strategy Game went to Frostpunk 2. Best Sports Game went to EA Sports FC 25. Still weird college football wasn't on there, but oh well. Best Multiplayer Game went to Helldivers 2. Best Adaptation went to Fallout. It was between Fallout and Arcane, if we're being honest. Most Anticipated Game went to GTA 6, the clearest, most obvious winner of the whole night. Content Creator went to Queso. Best Esports Game went to League, and matching up with that, Best Esports Athlete went to Faker, and Best Esports Team went to T1. But then there was a lot of announcements, which there was a lot of cool things. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. I'll have to scroll through a list. But I remember the Witcher 4 announcement was interesting. The new Naughty Dog game looked fun. Too bad it's probably going to be a PlayStation exclusive. The Elden Ring thing looked really interesting, but apparently it's like a battle royale thing, which makes me a lot less excited for it. But I mean, we'll see how that goes. The new Mafia game looked cool. Dispatch actually looked really fun, the new like Telltale type game. Split Fiction looked interesting. New Outer Worlds game looked cool. Another Last of Us, but you know, it is what it is. New Borderlands, I don't know much about the Borderlands series, but I'm sure people are excited about that. Turok came back, I again don't know much about that. There was that Pac-Man thing that looked cool. Thick as Thieves looked really fun. There's a ton of cool announcements. Make sure to keep up on that. No Resident Evil, unfortunately, was crossing my fingers for that, but alas, nothing yet. And just like last year, of course, the Muppets made an appearance with Statler and Waldorf constantly ragging on Jeff the whole time, so that was actually pretty fun. I did like seeing them. There was also that new award kind of thing, the Game Changer Award for Amir Satvat, that is helping laid-off workers in the games industry find work, which was actually super cool. That was one of the things I mentioned in my rant before the Game Awards, was that there was all of these layoffs and I didn't expect any acknowledgement of that. So that was cool to see, but it was kind of counteracted by the fact that they promoted an AI cat game live to everybody, with, you know, AI being the thing that stole all those jobs in the first place and having no creative value and being a plague and scourge upon the creative industry. But that's beside the point. I don't want to get too into that. That's what my last video was about. That kind of soured the evening to me personally, but oh well. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, that was a quick rundown of the Game Awards. Let me know your thoughts on the award show down below. It's always a kind of a mixed bag. But now let's get into my thoughts on the videos I made this year. So, I kind of made an oopsie with my thoughts last year, in the sense of I brought up that I wanted to make more videos this year. I ended up making less videos this year, actually, so oops on that one. I made 3 videos after the wrap up and 2 shorts. I'm going to try and go back and retroactively create shorts for each of the videos I made, or well, not each of them, but the biting into and tier list videos at least, and the 7 Deadly Sins video. So sorry about that. Life got busy, and like I said, I can't really promise that I'll be making more videos this next year. I hope I do. I also ended up canceling a video or I guess postponing it technically, but I'm probably going to have to cancel it. It was a video basically thanking Matt Pat for all he did for the YouTube gaming community and wish him well in his future endeavors and send him off with a game theory type video of my own. I kind of lost steam for it halfway through. I still have the script for it if I wanted to remake it, but I think I'm going to start getting rid of those assets so they're not taking up clutter on my PC anymore. So that's a shame. If anyone was interested in that, let me know. I might recreate it at some point or turn it into a short, but yeah, I think it's time that I fully move on from that project. Speaking of projects, my best performing video ever happened this year so far. The 7 Deadly Sins video, aligning each member of the Usher family from the show The Fall of the House of Usher with one of the 7 Deadly Sins and giving my justification for why those aligned. And what I really did like about that video is it came from a point of passion for me where I just had really strong feelings about these relationships and I wanted to show that in the form of a video and it performed really well. So that's encouraging. I think I just need to make videos about things that I feel strongly about. And I have a few ideas that I'll get into later for how to move on with that. But I don't know. I just didn't expect it to perform that well. And I know it's not that insanely well compared to bigger YouTubers, but it meant a lot to me. And it's still getting views occasionally. And I don't know. That was really cool. It's hard to put into words the way I feel about it. It's really encouraging. And I hope to recapture some of that. But unfortunately, after that video came out is when things started to really get busy for me and I didn't have as much creative motivation for YouTube. So there was a long break until I made a tier list video about the Mike Flanagan shows. And I did it slightly differently than my past tier list video. Instead of us all working on a tier list, I gave us all tier lists individually for all of us so we can make our own lists and then we combine our lists into a collective consciousness. So people could see my thoughts, could see Aurora's thoughts, and see our combined thoughts, and see if maybe they agree more with my thoughts, maybe they agree more with Aurora's thoughts, and then they can have that opinion influence what shows they're more interested in seeing and stuff like that. So I like that idea. It's kind of visually cluttered. I may have to figure out a better way to do that, but I think I'll move forward with that rather than making one giant tier list. Let me know what you guys think down below. It's a simpler video to make. I can see myself making more tier lists. I don't know how many more, or what they'll be on, but I can see that happening. And then there was the Game of the Year video I made. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but I was right again. I was right again. I also just liked making that video. It felt really interesting this year, especially because I didn't play a lot of the games, and I had to kind of go based off of the thoughts of other people and what I thought the voters would appreciate, and I guess I was right about that with Astrobot. So happy to see that. Here's hoping for 3 for 3. Yeah, make another one next year. But now I think it's time that I should talk more about my future plans for the channel and Twitch and everything like that. So my big thing for the future is I hope to be more consistent. I know I said that last year and I can't promise that things will change, but that is a general goal of mine. I hope to be more consistent with my videos. We'll see if that ends up being the case. I have some ideas for what I want to make. And I think a way I'm going to try and move that along, assist that goal, is stream less, focus more on YouTube. YouTube has just felt more fulfilling to me in general than Twitch streams. I feel like on Twitch I've been losing viewership more and more often. I'm just having multiple hour-long streams with no one in chat, and it can be discouraging. Not that my YouTube is particularly popping off, but it just doesn't feel as discouraging, I guess. That's my thought there. So I'm going to try and focus more on making YouTube videos. That's not to say that I'm going to stop streaming entirely. It's just to say that I'll probably be spending more of my time on Twitch guest starring than streaming myself on channels like Jebby's or Aurora's or Cassie's, And like I mentioned earlier with my 7 Deadly Sins video, I think I'm going to start just making the videos that I want to make. And I do want to return to Biting Into. I do like the idea of that being a series. Combining those two ideas together, I'm thinking about doing a Biting Into for both Overwatch and Marvel Rivals separately and kind of comparing the two, more so in the Marvel Rivals one probably than the Overwatch one, but I think that situation's interesting. And I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals recently, a lot less Overwatch recently because of it, so I think that'll be interesting. Some of the videos I want to make are in a similar vein to the 7 Deadly Sins video. I kind of want to make comparisons between the characters in Midnight Mass and the Ten Commandments, just because I feel like I've noticed some immediately. It's been a while since I've watched that show, but there's obviously there's adultery in it. Shall never covet thy neighbor's wife. There's disrespecting parents. Shall always respect thy mother and father. There's saying God's name in vain. There's having other gods before God. There's murder. There's just generally a connection for all of them, it feels like. So I kind of want to explore that. We'll see if I can put it together in an interesting video. That's probably going to be the one that requires the most research on my end. So we'll see if I end up making that. It's one that I find to be very interesting. And then another one I want to make is another more casual video, but it's just about the movies, The Platform and The Platform 2 on Netflix that KG and I watched, and they're crazy movies. And I don't think that we have necessarily huge theories about it, but I think we just want an outlet to talk about how crazy those movies are because I don't know, man. I have a lot of thoughts on those, so maybe I'll put that into a video as well. But yeah, I guess this is where I should probably end the video. As you could probably tell, I didn't really have as much of a script for this video. It was more me talking off the cuff, but I hope you enjoy this second yearly recap. I mentioned it at the beginning, but the first one of these is the least viewed video on my channel. These are mostly for me, I guess. So if you're listening to this, thank you for making it this long. Most people don't. I hope that with your support, I can survive an even higher fall in this intro next year. But with that, Happy New Year, and thanks for a genuinely incredible 2024. See you next time.